up, everybody? Welcome to the video. Today I want to let you know real quick, this video is going to have a few things in it. We're going to be showing you the gear drops I got on my free to play, and we're also going to talk about some ways you can get some use and some efficiency, some value and long-term value out of some of those pieces of gears that are maybe, as we'll call, suboptimal, stuff that have flat HP, flat stats, maybe not even good secondary, stuff like that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and break it down. On top of that, I want to let you guys know I did an interview with 3 of the third-party raid devs, meaning these are people who make applications for the third-party stuff on raid, stuff that's a little bit of the gray area, some accepted by Plarium, some actively not. For that reason, I want to let you guys know, great 1-hour-long interview, and they answer some of the hardest questions, in my opinion, in all of raid, and I asked all of the ones you guys would want to know. Trust me, I'll leave that in the pinned comment. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. Now, the best feeling in the world when you play Raid Shadow Legends and you're a free-to-play player, it's not really pulling a legendary. You would think it is. I pulled enough legendaries and free-to-plays by now, I know. The best feeling when you're a raid player and you're free-to-play is absolutely completing the multi-battle and looking at all the gear and hoping, praying to God you get good gear. Because let me tell you something, my current issue in the game, I could pull 3 more legendary characters and it could even be great legendaries. That's fantastic. I still do not possess anywhere on my account fantastic gear. And for that reason, pretty much all my characters are gonna suck. So today, I ran multi-battles of Fire Knight, and I'm going to be doing more of them today, but we ran out of energy, and now that I have full energy because I fell asleep during the multi-battles, and I forgot to run my BlueStacks Infinite Multi-Battle Auto-Clicker. Thank you very much, sponsor. My cat has been an absolute menace today. I'm hoping we can get through this video without her trying to do something funky, but, I mean, she's out of breath right now. I can see it. Oh, that didn't take very long. She stepped on some stuff and ended up closing BlueStacks, so I had to open Plarium Play. Now we have to go in here and do it this way. Thank you very much, kitty cat. But with that being said, let's check out the gear. Whoops, put me in the middle so I don't block stats. Let's see what we got, because this is very important. Speed, attack, defense. Nice. Speed's good. Crit rate and accuracy. Okay. Accuracy with speed and HP. Okay, that's all usable. And then attack percentage with crit rate. Yeah, that's all usable with somebody eventually. I'm okay with that. We got Fury set with speed on the helmet, HP percentage, okay, maybe. Speed there as well, nice, okay. And then crit damage gloves. All right, so I'm actually going to keep those 2. Flat defense here, boots. I'm not going to be keeping that one. 5-star with speed. I'll take that. I'll keep that. Now, the regeneration gear, I'm going to keep. Because no matter what, because if I remember right, there was a quest that requires me either to acquire this or equip it on somebody. I don't quite remember, so I think I'm just going to keep this because I'm not 100% sure. There's some 4-star crit rate gloves, 4-star defense boots, but for that reason, we'll keep it. Okay, immunity set would be nice for arena, and I don't really own any immunity really at all, so I just kind of want to keep it for that reason. Flat defense is terrible, but it has speed, so I'm going to keep it just in case it rose speed twice, because it could end up being like 12 speed or something, and I just throw that on a Faction Wars type of person. Flat defense here on the boots, even though it has crit rate, that's a sell. This boot here is HP percentage with crit rate, which is a keep, because once again, HP from your gear can determine how much the shield is, so HP percentage on shield set is normally quite good. That's kind of my logic there. Now we get into Savage. This stuff is very important. Accuracy and HP, it's a 5-star, we'll keep it. We have crit rate with flat attack. I'm actually going to keep that one, even though it's 4-star. Here, this is a big bummer, because look at this. If this was crit rate primer, this would be amazing, but it's flat attack, then we have crit damage, speed, and attack as the subs. Now, we're going to be keeping the gloves, just because if it rose speed 3 times, it could be 20 speed, right? And we'll need that once again for like Faction Wars type stuff or whatever. And then this flat attack, we're going to set. Big bummer on that glove. That was a swing and a miss. Now, here's stun set, which is very important. We're going to keep the helmet just because it's a helmet and we don't really care about stats that much. This is a win. So here is a nice chest piece, legendary, crit rate, accuracy, and crit damage. So that's great. All 3 of those are good. The flat attack's a little bit of a bummer, but there's not too much we could have asked for except for maybe speed in that slot, then it would have been borderline perfect. I like the defense percentage. Very happy with that piece, so we're going to keep that one, obviously. This one has flat speed still. We're going to be using this probably for Faction Wars or something. Like I say, I don't equip these to 16 or anything. So if people are wondering why I'm keeping so much flat gear, it's because in the beginning of the game, what I actually do is only spend like 20 or 30,000 silver per piece of those ones, which you do that for like, you know, 4 characters or something. What is that? 24 pieces of gear. It's less than 500,000 silver. You can equip 4 Faction Wars characters in some semi-level gear that has maybe some flat speed on it at a minimum. That's kind of my logic, and I do that to build out Faction Wars teams, so that way we can actually get the good gear like Perception and, you know, Swift Parry and stuff like that, that will end up rowing better. That's the reason I do it that way. On top of it, we end up getting silver back that we use because we're getting more forged materials, etc. So that's kind of my long-term logic about why I am keeping ones that are probably not so great, to be honest. With that being said, flat attack boots, those are going to go. And then we have a curing set here with accuracy and crit rate. The only reason I'm going to keep the curing set pieces is if that has crit rate for potentially a big overload heal crit from Apothecary, because I have Ironclad and Master Butcher combo. So we're probably going to keep that. And then once again, we have speed here with the flat defense. So we're only going to sell 4 of those. Now, we have these pieces of gear. So what we want to do is we want to see, are we going to sell any of the ones that were the flat pieces? So what we're going to do is we're going to roll them to 4. If this, for instance, goes to 4 and it gets the speed, we roll it to 8, okay? If it goes to crit damage or something like that, we just keep it at 4 and then throw it on one of those Faction Wars characters or something that needs to just keep it at 4. We roll it until it no longer really starts having the speed that might benefit us in either arena or somewhere else. So there, level 8, didn't really take that much silver. I'm cool with that. Now we have a piece of gear that's just going to go in the Faction Wars character or something. Let's see. We're going to roll this one once also, and we'll just see if we can get a speed row, because 3 more rows of 4 speed, even 4 speed rows here would be, okay, so rows attack, so we'll just keep that like that. And let's see, just out of curiosity, I kind of want to see what this one's going to row, right? It's good to go through and kind of look at your gear. I know there's an artifact enhancement event either currently or coming soon. That's one thing I got to look at too, is I can't go too deep on these. Man, that's a bummer, right? Man, that's a big kick in the nards right there, I think, isn't it? Now this one could maybe make up for it, because gloves are something I don't have that fast a speed of. I got 12 speeds, my fastest gloves, and that's on a speed set. So if this row's like 20 speed or something, this could be great for somebody else. So row's crit damage, so I'm not going to go any farther on that one, I don't think. This one I'm not too worried about. That one I'm not too worried about. These might actually be interesting, because crit rate secondaries on the shield set might end up giving us the opportunity to use our first shield set on somebody, which once again, yeah, see, there we go. Which once again, this could be actually used either on I'm trying to think, in an arena team, somebody who's HP based that might use this. Or, you know, the Magnar character coming up also, maybe he could use it too, because he's HP based as well, I believe. So look at that. Crit rate. Okay, so that's not bad. We're gonna level this one just once, just to see. And you can see so far we've only used like what, 120,000 silver or something like that. We haven't even used that much silver, and we're getting to figure out a large amount of these pieces of gear, which is I don't know. It's a good feeling. I prefer the opportunity to get new gear and rolling new gear over the opportunity of, you know, rolling like shards to try to get characters a lot of times, because I have good characters right now. Like if you look, right? Check this out. So I have Ninja. I maxed out my Gaelic first. I'm actually pretty fine with that decision. I don't really get the roasting about that one. Lanicus, great character. Ultimate Gaelic, great for you know, Spider and all that. We got War Mother. Maybe there's an argument she's not so great, but we got Apothecary. I got 5-star chicken here. We pulled the Retainer, which I'm using for Faction War. See, you can see this right here is an example of the type of thing. Like, it's 3-star gear. I'm not going to take it to 12, right? HP percentage, 4-star boots. I'm not going to really go crazy in that. Attack percentage, gloves, stuff like that. This is flat HP. I just leveled it to 4. I just threw this stuff on it right away. And yes, I could sell all this gear or something like that. But what it does is it allows him, during the time that he's getting to level 5 as a chicken, to be useful in those faction wars for a long period of time for essentially free investment or next to free investment. Because the problem really is, you can sit there and sell all this gear, and you know, that's good advice to sell all that gear. It's still good advice, but when you do that all, you're basically saying from the beginning of the game, I am only going to equip characters with the correct gear from the beginning. And there's no argument that this is not the correct gear to put on them. The argument is it's just stats. It's just raw stats. It has nothing to do with optimization. It has to do with just raw HP, raw attack. You know, I mean, look at the helmet, level 4 helmet, 773 HP with flat attack, 41 defense, crit rate, HP percent, stuff like that. It's not about it being correct. It's about raw stats in the beginning, just so I can actually get past the faction wars. Because even though Landicus has some of my best gear on her at the moment, I invested in her with my only legendary books, she was not strong enough to get me through the Dark Elf Crypt. I actually needed Retainer to be level 40, and once I put that gear on him and did the same thing with my other Dark Elves, I put kind of crappy gear on them, admittedly. Here, I'll tell you what, let's go to the faction. I'll show it, to drive this point home a little bit. Let's go look at the faction wars, and I'll show you what I beat it with. So here's Landicus, okay? She's got level 12 gear, right? It's some of my better stuff, but it's not crazy. I still got to finish the gloves and whatnot. I was waiting for an artifact enhancement event. I was going to get these to 15 and wait for that. And then Retainer, you already saw his gear. Look at Mystic Hand. Okay, level 4, level 8 gloves, HP percentage. I mean, this is not even level. You see, now, you may argue that, okay, well, now you're not going to remove that. That's 50K and you missed the silver of selling it. Yeah, you're right, I did. And this one probably should have been like a 3-star or something. You probably only want to put blue pieces of gear. And there's some arguments to be made for that, sure. But what I've been doing is I'm just like, okay, this is gear I don't need at all. I just got to get rid of it. I could sell it, get a little bit of silver, but what I need more than the silver right now is the faction war stuff, and I've made my argument as to why putting on these random pieces of gear and trying to get through the faction wars in the beginning, you can always just destroy them, and if you're going to continue using that character, or if you crunch them into a chicken, you're just going to destroy the gear anyway. And I have my argument as to why I think that is, in the long run, going to be beneficial for my faction wars, because I'm actually getting through some of the faction wars stuff a lot sooner than I thought I was going to be able to be. I've beaten, I think, 3 faction wars bosses already or something. We're not that far into the login, here. We're at day 40 or something like that. So I've gotten through 3 of the first bosses, and I'm getting to the point where I'm not too far off being able to actually be able to farm for the legendary tokens here pretty soon, I think. So that's far progress, and I'm pretty excited by that. On top of it, I have legendaries from different factions, right? So I have a Dark Elf, I have a Shadowkin, and I have an Ogrin tribe. So I'm trying to think, hey, I've got a pretty good spread out here of characters. I also got High Elves with like the Apothecary and stuff. So what I think I'm going to do is focus a little bit more on that, on the faction wars as well. That way I can even gear out the characters that I have as a spread. And I'm kind of going with a little bit longer of a con. Maybe you understand where I'm going with this, but it's just a thought process I kind of wanted to share today, and a methodology that I've been using to how I'm using my gear that's maybe not optimal, and how I'm trying to get value out of that. I know there's so much stuff to do in the game, even as a free-to-play. I find myself not optimizing all of my time, optimizing all of the stuff to do, and for that reason, I'm really trying to focus on the stuff I want to do, and Faction Wars being one of them, because I think Faction Wars rewards are going to help me a whole ton in the long run. Plus spreading out stuff and kind of working a little bit on everything, even though it's not the most optimal and efficient, because I will never disagree. The best thing to do is, go through max 1 character masteries, the whole thing, do that with another one, do that with until you have 5, so you can do the clan bossing, etc. I'm kind of exploring the game a little bit wider of a set, and so far I'm actually pretty happy with it, to be honest. It's working fairly well. So hopefully this video helped. Maybe it was instructional. Maybe you learned something not to do. I don't know. I love y'all. Thanks for the likes, comments, and subscribing if you want to see more of this. And I had a very good interview with third-party application designers from the Raid devs, which I'll link to at the end of this here. Highly recommend it.